Now, today we're going to be talking about the newest game inside of the Doom franchise. And do not worry, friends, in video format and audio format, we are going to be keeping this review spoiler free. And I want to give a huge shout out to Bethesda and id for allowing me early access to play the game and go over my thoughts on Doom the Dark Ages. Now, this game is set to release on May the 15th for $70 for the standard edition. And if you're looking for some cosmetic paints as well as an early start and a future DLC for the campaign, you can pick up the premium edition for $100. But friends, if you have Xbox Game Pass on the Xbox or the PC, this is going to be a day one release. Now, a little bit about me. I am an OG Doom fan, and I still play the original games from time to time, as well as fan-created mods for Doom like Vault 666, which adds Fallout to Doom 2 in an interesting story. But I will say that I have never played Doom 2016 or Doom Eternal, but in playing Doom the Dark Ages, it left me wanting more and to pick up where the story left off. That's right, my future and current Slayers, Doom the Dark Ages is a prequel to Doom 2016 and Eternal, which means that you don't have to play either game before jumping into this game, and there has always been a bit of a gap in the Doom timeline with what the protagonist was doing between Doom 64 and Doom 2016, but in this newest release, we get to find out more on what the Slayer was doing on Argent D'Nur and how he was feared and respected by those who knew him. And now, whether you know the protagonist as the Marine, Doom guy, outsider, or just as a Slayer, this is a Doom game for everyone, in my personal opinion, because no matter the amount of lore that you are familiar with, everyone can enjoy their time ripping and tearing through some demon flesh. And I know I am not the most up-to-date on lore, but this game has made me plunge into the wiki and watch countless videos going over the lore and fan theories from over the years. And now I love the way that the team has decided to do the cutscenes for Doom the Dark Ages. It's very immersive, and it looks like the cutscenes are being rendered inside of the game because the skins that you have on your weapon, your dragon, your Atlan, and the damage that you inflict or that has been inflicted on you will show up inside of the cutscenes. And now I'd like to show you a few cutscenes, but I can only show you this one because the other ones would be spoiler free. But take, for example, this opening scene where we are dropping down onto the planet, and while the shotgun we would normally pick up is just a plain version, we have earned a few different skins throughout our play session, and we have mastered the shotgun. So we have a conquered skin equipped, which is gold, and this will be reflected throughout the game's cutscenes as we pick up the shotgun. But now, of course, you have to have the skin equipped to show up inside of the cutscenes. It's not just automatically going to put the skin there for you. And if you're wondering about seeing some damage on enemies inside of the cutscene, one of the best weapons that I can suggest is the Impaler, because there are certain cutscenes that you may be able to make a magical unicorn. Now let's talk about the difficulty of Doom the Dark Ages, and we personally played the game on Nightmare difficulty, which most certainly slowed me down throughout my time on this review, but it was so rewarding as I went through and played the game on Nightmare. And now look, this is a review, so in slowing me down, I did decide to bump down the difficulty, and going from the difficulty of Nightmare to be bumped down to Hurt Me Plenty so I can make sure that I finish the game as quickly as possible, you could definitely tell a difference. But something that you are able to do that I love that the team is doing, you can fully customize your difficulty. So while we were playing on a much lower difficulty, we were able to customize that difficulty to still make it a little bit more challenging. And thank you so much to the team for putting this in here, because I can see so many different runs from creators and fans in the future, different play styles like doing an Iron Man or anything like that. This is definitely going to help that replayability of Doom the Dark Ages. And now, as I mentioned before, I have not played Doom 2016 or Eternal, so I can't give you an apples-to-apples comparison in the difference between the gameplay in those games versus this one. So I would definitely watch another review that has played 2016 and Eternal, but I absolutely loved my time in this game, and it really gave me a call back to the days of playing Quake against my friends, except this time my friends are demons and they really aren't my friends. But now Doom the Dark Ages can be a fast-paced, high-intensive shooter where you are ripping and tearing your way through hordes of demon spawns. As well, it can be a slow, methodical gameplay loop of hunting collectibles and secrets as you work on your mastery for weapons and fight against demons. And now not only will you be fighting demons on the ground as the Slayer himself, but you'll also be taken to the sky to fly your dragon around and also to command an Atlan, which is a huge mech that you pilot to take down some big boys. And now I can see a lot of Slayers being on the fence of whether they enjoy flying the dragon around or commanding the mech, because these are very different gameplay loops instead of being on the ground and fighting hand-to-hand with demons. And now the reason that I say players might be on the fence about the Atlan and the Dragon is because these are a lot slower gameplay loops than you get used to with facing off against demons face-to-face with your shield or your super shotgun. But now, personally to me, I really enjoyed my time flying the dragon around and piloting the Atlan. You see, flying the dragon around not only allows you to look at the beautiful landscapes that the team has worked on, but to me personally, it reminded me of some Top Gun game moments back on the Sega Genesis. And now piloting the Atlan reminded me of some Gundam arcade fighting style back in the day, like some Mech Warrior, and I was definitely smack talking some enemies as I was going fisticuffs with them. Now inside of Doom the Dark Ages, you can upgrade a multitude of things, but for me, before I even focused on upgrading my weapons, I was upgrading my shield, my parry abilities, and my melee attacks. Now, in Doom the Dark Ages, you can upgrade a lot of things throughout your course of playing, but for me, I mainly focused on upgrading my shield, my parry abilities, and my melee attacks before I ever focused on upgrading my weapons. And now I played Doom the Dark Ages for over 20 hours, and I can most certainly see playthroughs coming from Slayers where it's shield and melee only, because when you parry certain attacks from enemies, you can equip a different ability to trigger from the player. Like maybe you want to focus on your mastery for certain weapons and slow down the fight, then you can equip the lightning ability for when you parry, but maybe you want some added firepower, and then you would equip the auto turret that would appear upon a successful parry. But now if you're wanting your mastery challenge to unlock for weapons like the shotgun, the impaler, and more, you are going to have to fully upgrade them. And after working on a few of these mastery skins, oh my Lanta, the amount of damage that you can put out with these weapons. And now as far as character and world design, I think the team did an amazing job with this, because through our time of exploring, we would find ourselves sometimes just sitting on the side of a cliff overlooking a vast wasteland of beauty and destruction. Now, through your time in the game, you will see many familiar demon spawns, but some of them might look a little bit more different than how you remember them, like the Cacodemon design from other games, but this one is a bit different than it was in previous games. But I very much enjoy how the team designed this one, and it kind of reminds me of Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And now, just like in other Doom games, there is plenty of lore to look into throughout the codex entries that you can find in the world on your travels, and I think the team did an amazing job with the storytelling, especially in these cutscenes, because I found myself either with a look of horror on my face or maybe even smack-talking the enemies through the cutscenes. And now, just like in other Doom games, the soundtrack for Doom the Dark Ages is absolutely wonderful, and I cannot wait to add this to the gameplay soundtracks that I listen to throughout my day at work. And now, if you haven't picked up on the fact that I recommend this game throughout this entire review, let me tell you, I'm going to give this game a 9 out of 10 because it was so much fun playing the Slayer and I enjoyed my time with it. Whether this is your first Doom game that you are playing or this is going to be one of the many Doom games that you play, I think everyone is going to very much enjoy their time as the Slayer. But let me know your thoughts on Doom the Dark Ages down in the comments section below, and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to check this video out, and thank you so much to the channel members for the continued support. Y'all have a great and wonderful day out there in the wasteland. Peace, y'all.